dirty, sexy, and progressive.
City 2. They say it don't ever rain in Harlem, it just pours, trickling off rusted window panes, tin-box dreams, shot by semi-automatic realities. Harlem, Chicago, Brooklyn, Bronx, I love you like heroin, tin, saxophone, your bluesy ghetto paranoia enraptures me, you beautiful bitch. Harlem, Chicago, Brooklyn, Bronx, they don't take shit from nobody. Battered, bruised, and birthed, latex erections penetrate graffiti wall scriptures, and they say it don't ever rain in Harlem. She just weeps and her babies kill each other for their mother's milk, but she ain't got no more to give, so they baptize themselves in fetal blood. Harlem, Chicago, Brooklyn, Bronx, asphalt symphonies, traffic jam footsteps, they play hopscotch on your breast and compose disasters in your clitoris. Violet stairways reach up shell-shocked rooftops, street lights stare down at coal streets, metal spires mold man-made constellations. Harlem, Chicago, Brooklyn, Bronx, jazz notes, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta of broken reality symbols, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter on high-strung lifelines, piano strips line your thighs, the vibrations chime, melancholy snaps. And they say it don't ever rain in Harlem, they just sweat. Harlem, Chicago, Brooklyn, Bronx.
It's out there, man.
First time I ever met Ryanaustin, he was in a lumberjack outfit. And ever since then, Ryanaustin is always the nice dressed boy in McBride. He's really funny, and he does poetry on the corner.
When I first saw him, I was in my car, and I just remember slowing down and rolling the window down and just kind of looking at him, and then driving, and kept going.
Jesus, Mary, wait, I fucked up. It's this one.
No, okay, you.
Pete Sampras, Liza Minnelli, Barbara Walters. Damn. Fuck.
Alright, Ryan, how old were you when you started writing poetry?
It was when I was 12 years old. And actually my first poem was a winter poem, actually. And the first line was, wispy, whirly, twirly, curly, snow is heaven's light, shining and reflecting above like angels above that no one knows of. Something, and it kept going on. And I know, yeah, I was like, it's so funny, like, when you see, like, for how far I've came and, like, you know, my poetic journey, I guess.
And what are your inspirations, and what are your favorite topics to talk about, and who do your topics relate to? Do they relate to you or to other people?
Like, right now I'm like, battling between, like, do I write for myself or do I write for, like, people, but, when coming to Miami, I felt like, especially now that I'm on the corner, like, I write a lot more for the people, you know, more like the subjects are a lot more like, not so much internal stuff. And like now I was telling you guys about this, like, you know, I think I'm writing with, like, I'm calling it like bullet poems because they're like really short and compact pieces with like quick lines that zigzag, you know, and like they kind of charge out like a bullet when they hit people because they're quick, you know, pow, you know, big punch. So that's like how I'm beginning to write more, but and I think normally now I find like what inspires me is just about everything, like what people say. Like a lot of right now my pieces, like I get from hearing people's conversations. Like I'll use these terms or words or everyday like sayings and like think about them a little more in context. So.
What exactly is your major, and does your performing have any place like in your future career?
My major is philosophy, so
yeah.
So I want to be a professor, so I think that has to help, you know, help a lot with my oratorical skills and like, you know, I think being able to have fun with words and explaining yourself in intricate and interesting ways.
Okay.
So I think that helped a lot with my major.
Is there anything you want Miami students or anyone else to know about you?
Well, every Saturday I'm on by High Street, 1 to 4 in the morning on Sundays. Well, I say like Saturday nights, but like I'm there performing. But other than that, I mean, just go out and do it yourself. If you feel like you have good stuff, like express yourself. And I think some people, like, it's so funny because for like McBride, I found when I started to like look around for poets, like I found like so many people write poetry here, and they just didn't want to like share it. I'm like, I love when people share it. Like, if you guitar play, go on the street. Well, you want to hear, if you have good music or you feel like want to express yourself, just do it. So that's like how I am.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan in his poetry kind of makes me think about life in a more meaningful way. Kind of makes me want to go out and change the world in a way, I guess.
Makes me really happy that he's doing what he likes, and he makes money doing it, which is sweet. And he really is passionate about his poetry, so it's really good that he's doing the things that he loves.
It's something that you don't see every day, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of proud of him, I guess, because he's really outgoing and willing to share something so personal.
Kind of makes me want to write my own poetry, but I know I wouldn't be great at it. But he kind of reminds me of someone who just starts out at the bottom and can make his way to the top, because I feel like one day we will hear Ryanaustin Dennis's name in the news or something like that, and he will be so famous, and we will remember in his college days when he was out on the street corner writing his own poetry, legit came from his mind. And I really think like it's from the heart, from the soul, and I think he's someone that shows that you can do it yourself if you put your heart and mind into it.
I totally screwed that up. No, I like blew that shit up. I just